Hey guys, so today the Jagex have released a Runespan game, which is currently the best runecrafting XP in the game. It was already confirmed to be this before release, and I've been hard at work doing this for many hours tonight just to try and learn the best techniques to get XP, and I've managed to try and make a guide, and this should give you a very good idea of how to do the Runespan, and a very good method at the end which I'll show you, which is going to grant you some extremely good XP. Now, after testing, I managed to get about 110k XP in an hour, and it's definitely possible to get more. I made many mistakes, and this was at 99 runecrafting, so obviously you have to scale it down for your level, and unfortunately I don't quite know best XP rates for other levels, because it's very early release, so I can't quite confirm definite XP rates at certain levels. However, it is the best XP in the game, so no matter what, this is where you want to be training, and this is how you want to train. So this guide should be very helpful, and I put a lot of effort into getting this guide out on release day, so please give me a thumbs up if you did enjoy the guide and you found it helpful. So let's just move straight into the guide, and then you can learn how to play Runespan. Right guys, so the first thing I'm going to show you is maps of the areas. Now I'm getting these off the official Runescape wiki, and I'm going to have a link to this in the description, because it's a very useful piece of information. It has all the levels that you need to know for certain requirements, and it's very useful. You can figure out what you need to which ones you want to collect yourself for your corresponding runecrafting level. So this is the lower access one. You require level 33. Wait, no. Yeah, this is the level 1. You don't need any requirements for this. What am I on about? I'm getting confused because it says 33 there. Anyway, this is the lower level 1. You probably never go in this, because I imagine most people have the 33 requirement for level 2. However, I only recommend going to 33 if you actually level 44, because this way you can access the nature runes, and that's just going to easily bulk up your XP, and it's going to make it a lot easier to transport yourself around level 2, because nature rune is used quite a lot. So I only recommend doing that if you're 44, but I imagine most people trading here will be 44 runecrafting anyway. And for the lower level players, it's still the best. However, it shouldn't take you long to get from 1 to 44 there. But the main part of the guide is going to cover doing the high level place. But I'm going to mention the second level place. But it's just do the same, but corresponding to your runes and your runecrafting level. It really depends, but generally do the same technique anyway. So, as you can see, the level 2 area, this is where you enter. That's what I'm confused. It's not on this map. I mean, in game it's on map, but yeah, you enter here on this little island here. See, in game on the world map there's a little transport symbol there, but it's not on here, so I got massively confused. Anyway, here it is. This is where you come in, and as you can see to the left it has the key of all the different colours of which platforms they are. Now, if you're a decent runecrafting level, you should not have a problem with anything. And there's only a few on the high level area that you might have a bit of a problem with, because I have some higher requirements. So this is generally the area. If you're training on this area, you will get used to the map very, very quickly. I got used to the high level map after about half an hour to an hour of playing there, because you will be hunting for the wizards, which is definitely worth doing for XP. So you'll generally get used to if there's certain areas you can't follow, you will definitely get used to them. And I know this simply because of the fact of training a Brimhaven agility course in the past. And if you weren't 40 agility, you couldn't do the darts, and you slowly learned like where them darts are. Now, fair enough, this isn't a square grid, but you'll get the idea soon enough. And there's very few of the high level ones anyway. But you can always refer back to these maps if you need to, and you can also access them in game with the world map. But they won't have the key on, unfortunately. But they will have the map, which you can show you the direction of each island and where the connections are, but it'll not tell you which ones are which. So as you can see by the high level map, it seems more outspread than the last one, and there's a lot of islands that you can't get to while you think you should be able to. Like, this island isn't connected there. You have to go all the way around here, which is quite a lengthy trek, and it might seem close, but it's not. And you will be using like non-fixed screen for this for the best XP, to be able to see the further islands away, to see which ones you want to try and head to. As you can see, there's lots of small islands throughout the middle, and generally that's where you're going to be camping for your best XP. So the only thing I want to mention is this greater conjuration platform. Now this requires level 95 runecrafting to do, and as you can see, it's this big long one here. But the thing to mention about this is that it's just a shortcut, effectively. Because you can travel there either way anyway, by simply taking a few more teleports around here. So it's nothing to worry about if you're not 95, and I imagine you should be fine. I only recommend going to this one if you're level 77 Runecrafting, because that will give you access to the blood, and it will give you a massive boost in XP in compared to what you can access before, because you don't want to be struggling to teleport around. Obviously it doesn't mention the rewards because it's going to be a massive spoiler. But the next thing I want to show you is just the requirements, not for rune spheres, is for the little creatures. Now you've got all the creatures. Now the S-lings if they were on the level 1 floor, the hounds, S-hounds if they're on level 2, and then the only wraiths if they're on level 3 only. So obviously they go up in sensible order, the same level the runes go up in, and they give XP corresponding in increased fashion. Now these are what you're going to get your rune essence off, and as you can see, level 90 requirement for the first one. It's corresponding to the same level that a rune would take to craft. And obviously the soul ones do not currently exist in crafting souls in game at the minute. There is a soul rift in the altar, and level 90 was predicted. If you follow the little fashion of the how the runes go up in level, for the higher level runes, as you can see, 13 gap, 12 gap, 11 gap. That's why it was predicted that this would be 90, and it actually turned out. Soul runes have been predicted a long time ago because they came in the Abyss, but they've never been released, unfortunately. So they're the creatures, and these are what you can siphon off to get runes, and also rune essence. Now you can also chip off them to get paying these runes to get these runes, but it's simply, to me, not worth doing. So if you head up further up on this page, you will see there's the list of the rune energy nodes. Now these are going to be giving you the bulk of XP. Now as you can see, this is the general soul on level 90, and it gives a lot more XP than a wraith. Now the only bad thing about these is they don't give you the rune essence. However, they will die a little faster, and they're more random. The wraiths and stuff and the other creatures will respawn very fast, and you can camp them, but you'll get less XP per hour. So as you can see, there's many types of each one. So as you can see, there's a blood pool, and then there's a bloody skulls. Now the bloody skulls combines the skulls and the blood, and you can craft them both. Now the good thing about this is you can craft that and this at the same time, and you can possibly get 120 plus 146 simultaneously, and this boosts like this max XP there, which is only 176. Wait, no, does it not add them together? I thought it added them together. Clearly not. It just gives 176 maybe. I'm not 100% sure. Oh well, right, so obviously this one gives 255 at a maximum if you craft both of them at the same time. Oh well, I thought it added them together, but clearly not. But these are great XP, and as you can see, they go down to the lower level ones. Now, as I mentioned, the small islands have the higher level ones more often, so depending on your runecrafting level and which tier you're on, is where you the small islands is probably going to be where you want to search if you're a higher level. So I recommend trying to stick to the highest 3 that you can stick at, and obviously try to stick to your highest wraith island. If you find an island that has a wraith spawn of which one you want, or the highest creature that you want, try and stick to there, and that should mean that corresponding nodes spawn there a lot more often, and then you can get the ones you need. You want to try and stick to the 3 highest you can. So obviously if you're 90, you want to try and stick to the living soul, bloody skulls, and bloody pool, and if you're 95, you probably want to stick to them 3. Now that's not to mean you can't do the ones lower. Obviously it's definitely worth doing it, and I try to stick to these, but the blood pool is definitely worth doing if you haven't got anything else near, but you want to try and obviously stick to this order from that way up to the top. So that's all I want to say about the wiki page. I'm going to put the link for that in the description because it's a very useful page and it's definitely worth a quick read just to make sure you know what's going on. So I'm going to get into the guide now and show you the rewards first off. Right guys, so as you can see, I'm at the Wizards Guild. Now, when you go into Runespan, what you want to have on you is just your Wicked Hood, effectively. I've got my Completionist Cape on just for the looks, and obviously you can wear whatever gear you want for looks. But make sure you don't have anything too heavy on, because it will reduce your time your run lasts. However, you should never run out of run if you're doing it effectively anyway. I've got this for a quick bank, obviously when I leave, but you want to have your invent space pretty much empty. You could take a few items if you want, but there's no need. And there's a deposit box chest right here that you can use straight away. Now, before I go into doing the Runespan event, or game, whatever you want to call it, I'm just going to quickly show you the rewards. So the main rewards are here. Now, there's a full Wicked set, and there's also there's also a Wicked Hood, which is quite weird considering that everyone gets one for free. But I assume it's there so that any free-to-play player can get it once they get 175 points, which isn't too many to get, it's even for a free-to-play player. The rest of the items are the full Wicked set. Now, it's currently unknown what each one does. I think the Wicked Cape gives 25 extra essence per day in your Wicked Hood, which currently gives 100. So then it'll give 125, which is going to increase your XP of runecrafting per day if you do your daily Wicked Hood runs, which is nice for people that are still going for 99 runecrafting. The other rewards are some staffs. Now, obviously you want the greater runic staff. The other ones are lower requirements anyway. So obviously you want to go for the corresponding one according to your runecrafting and magic level. Now this one has 75 magic and 90 runecrafting, and what it says it does is it's made from rune essence, and what it's capable is it stores and absorbs 1000 casts of any magical spell it is aligned to. So that could be any spell, I guess, in the game, which means it could even be. It surely means non-combat spells too, because it just says cast of any spell. So I assume that could be like plank make, fire surge, whatever you want to do. So it's kind of in the surge box, that kind of thing that you can wield surges in your staff. But again, because of the high number of points it takes to get, it is currently unknown of the stats. I've heard the other two are really bad stats, so I can't imagine this one being very good. And I imagine the Celestial Staff is still going to be the best in the game. But that is there as an option if people want to get that. It does. I imagine it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool in the picture. And the last reward is a massive pouch. Now, the other pouches in RuneScape degrade after so many uses, and then you can fix them at the Abyss or use them in the runecrafting, the magic spell that you unlock at Livid Farm. However, the massive pouch is different. If you've ever done Stealing Creation, and the Stealing Creation weapons and the pickaxes and tools, etc., they degrade after so much XP or so many uses, whatever they do, and then you have to go and get another one. This works very, very similarly in the way that once this degrades, it goes to dust. You cannot repair it like other pouches. And this requires 1000 points. 1000 points doesn't take too long. I've received about, as you can see, I've got 2100 points, and I wasn't there for too long. I was just trying to figure out techniques. I wasn't trying too hard. Oh, bad right click there. And I was just finally like figured out a good method to do it, which I'll show you in this video. So the massive pouch is, I guess, it's probably the best reward to buy lots of. Now, if you want to make some money, this is probably a great option to do, because buying this, if you're over 91 runecrafting and then you're doing some double nature runes, especially after the button you can bounce a gun, nature runecrafting is going to be a decent way of making money. And spending all your points on this is probably a worthwhile investment. Obviously, we don't know what the Wicked Robe top and the Wicked Robe bottom does yet, and that should be quite interesting to get, and we'll see about that in the future. But I think the massive pouch is going to be something nice. And the other thing to mention is that the massive pouches stack once not full. So I think you can have more. I'm not sure if you can have more than one full at a time, but I know the unfull massive pouch does stack in your invent. But I highly doubt you can take a full invent of full stacks of full pouches. But they do not stack when you put essence in, but they stack otherwise. But I'm not sure exactly how they work. And obviously I could buy one now, but I'm not going to. But it does hold 18 essence. No one quite knows how long it lasts for yet. I imagine it lasts a decent amount of time. It doesn't degrade too fast, because that is something in Mod 5 I was talking about. It is so annoying when your pouch degrades really fast, so I guess that's something they'll definitely not do. But it's going to be a really good boost. If you're training the 99 runecrafting here, or not even just a 91, even just getting 91, you should get quite a few points and be able to get quite a lot of massive pouches, which is going to make you some decent money if you go and train at runecrafting at natures. The other rewards are just some ranks, which are really, really pointless. I'm not sure what they do. I heard they just give you a little rank on your Wicked Hood or something like that. But as you can see, rank 1 costs 211,000 esteem points. Or 212,000 even, it's more rounded. As you can see, I got 2,000, which took me quite, well, as I said before, it didn't take me too long. But compared to 200,000, that's 100th of what I need to do for rank 1. And of course, rank 1 is a trimmed completion escape fragment. So that means people are going to be spending well over 150 hours here for this, I think is what's been calculated to get this. Good fight anyone with a trimmed comp cape, because to be fair, I'd rather get 5k Castle Wars games. But the other reward is just a simple recolor. It says the cost at the bottom. It's a cost per piece, I think. And it just says to recolor the robes that you currently have equipped. I have a Wicked Hood equipped, but I don't want to spend to recolor that. That's a waste of time. But that's all the rewards there is. I'm not too bothered about the rewards, but as you can see, the portal to the Runecrafting Guild is here. What you want to do, you just want to click it, and it has a low level entrance into the Runespan and high level entrance into the Runespan. I'd only go for the low one if you're below about 44 runecrafting, but I imagine for the most of the players it's going to be the high level entrance. So once you teleport here, you will just teleport into an area and it'll say welcome to the Runespan, blah blah blah, warning, just ignore it. You'll also get a tutorial on your first time, but if you know what you're doing, you don't have to watch that, but I do recommend doing it on your first time. It's probably worth it, and Wizard Phoenix is there. So as you can see, once you get here, you have nothing in your event, and to start doing anything, you need to collect this essence here, and you'll get 25 essence that you can start off with. As you can see, on this little island here, there's lots of low-level S-lings, mind, air, body, lots of them. You just want to siphon off them, and you want to get a decent stack of every single rune. Now, obviously, not every single rune is on the level 2, and there's a lot that are on the high level ones, but you will not need these high level ones until you get over to the higher level platform, which I'd only go up to if you had 77 runecrafting. So I'm just gonna keep on killing these on this main island. You can get a lot of the lower level runes here, and you can get a decent stack of them very, very quickly, and it's an awesome way to quickly get them. As you can see, when they die, they drop a huge amount of rune essence as well. So even though you use 1 rune essence per every single rune you make, you will get many more rune essence at the end. And by the time you finish collecting all the runes you need, you should have a massive stack of rune essence, so that when you go straight up to that high level platform, you are set to be able to get lots of lots of the higher level runes and get some massive XPs. So as you can see, the nodes are here, and what the nodes do, they give you more XP than an S-ling or S-hound, whatever ones. Obviously the high level ones have cooler names, but they don't give you runes when they die, and you will use your runes a lot faster. However, they are more XP, but they will die faster. And they have cool names, like that's a mind storm. That's quite self-explanatory what it is, and it's just changed into a water pool. And as you can see, there's a little white symbol on the floor underneath it that tells you what runes it makes. So as you can see, it's water there, and you can go around, you'll see the other ones, and you'll see what they're called. And the only thing I can recommend for these is you will get used to the names, and generally you can work it out kind of from what they're called. Like this firestorm is fire and air, as you can see on the floor, and then a fire, what's it called? The fireball, I can't see one, it's just fire. But there's many duplicates, like as in duplicates as in there's 2 types in one, and that is a higher level by 5 requirement, as I've already showed you. So I recommend getting, it depends how long you want to stay on the Runespan, because you can always get more runes later on when you're on the high level platform. You will see some of these lower S-lings, but you just want to get well over 20 will definitely do. So I've got quite a few of the lower level ones here now, and then after you get all these, you want to start heading to the other islands, and lore runes is something you'll definitely need. Now lore runes on pretty much the highest level you can get here, so you might struggle to get them, but to get to the higher platform you will need lore runes. You want to head northwest for this, as that seems to be the only location I've ever found a lore S-ling. So you want to head up that way. Make sure I would still recommend getting a few more. If you see one you haven't got, definitely siphon them. Earth S-ling, as you can see, I haven't got one, but there's a nature S-ling there, that's a great one to get. All these are going to come in handy. You just want to, anyone you haven't got yet, you just siphon it until you just keep doing it. They spawn very, very quickly, these S-lings. They do die relatively fast, but I think they'll just die and respawn faster so that you can stop AFKing, because you'll have to click again, and you can't just AFK for half an hour and look back and you still haven't killed it, you know. That is generally the idea. So I've got 5 nature runes now, so I'm just building these up until I get quite a lot. That is the aim of what you want to do here. So as you can see, the higher level ones take a lot longer to take down than the lower level ones, but will give more XP. I can't say any more that I haven't got, but you just want to head northwest. Obviously at this point you might not have all the runes that you need, but as I just say, I would need 1 water rune across this, and I haven't currently got a water rune, so I'm going to have to go another way to find a water S-ling, which I haven't currently found. So I can cross here because it just requires an air rune, and I should definitely come across a water S-ling soon, because they're a low level creature that should find. Now as you can see, there's a yellow wizard here, and this event happens every so often, and he'll give you XP, but he hasn't called for my help, so it's not useful at the minute, but a yellow one is the one you want. So as you can see, I got a water rune there again, so I can't go that way yet, so I'm going to head back and try and get some water runes. So you just want to try and get as many as you can of all the runes. It doesn't really matter for XP, this is not your main XP gaining yet. You're just going around getting as many runes as you can, just to build up a decent stack before you go and train on the high level S-lings and stuff like that, so that you can get the best XP. You just want to build a massive rune stack up, so that you do not run out when teleporting around. So where did that earth one go? There you go. So I'm going to pause the video for now until I get a decent stack of them all, and then I'm going to head up to the high level area. So I've finished getting that Earth Rune S-Ling, and as I mentioned, the nodes you can also siphon. Now, as I said, you won't get Rune Essence back off these, but you can get the other runes that you haven't got. So as you can see, I'm getting some nice water runes right now, and building up a decent stack. I didn't make it too clear that you could siphon off these to get them, so yeah, make sure you do that, because I've got a massive Rune Essence pack now. But first you want to definitely concentrate on the hounds before going on to these nodes. That will give you some decent XP, and you will get some decent XP before you head on. So I've got a massive amount of water runes already, straight away. So now I'm going to move on to this rock fragment and get me some more of them earth runes before I go and hunt for a lore S-Ling. So I think I've got majority of the runes I need to get now. Although I do need some fires actually. So got enough earth, so let's move on to these firestorms. And I'll get some fires and airs while I'm doing these. Fire should go pretty fast. As you can see, I'm not gonna exactly run out of firestorms right here. Got a fucking implode of them right here. So I'm set. Look at them all, they're everywhere. These damn firestorms. I think that just changed. Fleshy growth there. What's that one? I think it's body. It's fleshy growth. You can examine them as well, it'll tell you. Pure body energy. The examine's very simple, it'll tell you what type of energy it is. It's simple as that. Concentrate on the hounds at first so you get a decent amount of essence, and then you can move on to some nodes if you haven't got any of the runes that you require. So I'm going to say that's a decent amount right now, and I'm going to go on the hunt for a lore S-Ling. So as I said, you want to try and head northwest. So I'm going to pause the video and while I head northwest, and then I'm going to show you that lore S-Ling before I show you the method of getting up to the higher level. And I'm going to also, and that's basically the higher level of where you're going to get the soul runes and the death runes and the blood runes, which is where you're going to get the majority of your XP if you're in the higher level player. So I've found a lore S-Ling now, and as you can see, the island I'm actually on is very small. This is very important to note. This is a very important fact to take note of while you're training at the Runespan, is that the large items and the large islands generally have lower level runes on, and the small islands have the high ones. And also spawn higher level nodes a lot more often. So this is definitely where you want to try and stay closer to when you're on a higher level, when you go to the higher level zone for your high XP. So as you can see, that spawned very fast, so I'm just going to camp this until I have a decent amount of lore runes. And as you can see, I haven't got any chaos yet, and there's a chaotic cloud there, so I'm going to head there next. And this shifter here is nature rune, if you didn't know. And the other one I need is some cosmics. I haven't got any cosmics. So, and there's the little red message for the wizard, but I'm going to explain that later in the video. So you just want to keep on gathering runes until you get a decent amount. It's quite self-explanatory. Depends how long you want to stay in the Runespan for. So I'm going to head to the climb up to the higher level floor now, but I'm going to head from the start zone of where you enter the Runespan. Right, so I'm currently at where you started from, so everyone should know where this location is because you've just started, and as you can see, it's this location here. I'm just going to turn you here on, so it's quite obvious where I am. Let's close this key. How do I close it? There we go. So there's two teleport icons as well as the one you're at. Now this is the one you start at, as you can see, and this one is to the lower level. It's very quick to get here, which is one move away. But as you can see, the one to get the high level is far southwest, so you just want to simply head down this path. Quite self-explanatory how to get there. So I'm going to head down that path now. Very easy to follow. And just wait for this lag. Holy crap. 20 minutes later. I'm just going to head down there now. Doesn't take too long to get to. You can either, there's many ways to do it. I mean, there's many little paths that you can use to head down to there. Very easy to do no matter what you do. So as you can see, I've got quite a lot of all the runes now. I haven't got any cosmics, but don't need any to get there. Watch us just randomly need a cosmic right now. You just know it's going to happen, don't you? But I think I'm safe. And as you can see, once you get there, there's a climb up bone ladder, and it's will send you to the high level floor. Climb up, climb up. It's pretty cool the way you climb up, not gonna lie. I like it. Shame you don't climb at the top. And then you'll enter the high level area, which is bright red, the colour of blood. So I'm gonna bring you back in a second. I'm gonna explore this area, and I'm gonna figure out a great technique of how to train here before I tell you guys about it. And I'm gonna build up a lot more runes too. Right, so as you can see, I'm on the top tier right now, and I've been at it for quite a while. I've got quite a few runes here, and obviously you build them up over time, and once you have a decent stack, as I suggested, get about 20 of each before you go up to the top floor, and then you can start to collect more of the high level ones. And you will collect the high level ones when you can. Obviously you need to look for them, and there's very few of the high level ones around, and to find them you want to head for the small islands. As you can see, there's an undead soul there, which is the best one in the which is the highest level requirement one, and that one is actually level 95 to siphon off, as I've showed you already on the table. So obviously I'm 99, so the majority of the ones I want to go for is the undead soul, the living soul, and the blood thing. Not the blood pool, the skulls that are covered in blood. They're the top three that I want to go for. Obviously the skulls in general are good as well, but I want to try and concentrate on the higher ones if I can for the best XP. Now, there's some giant islands. As you can see, this one over here is a huge island, and it's covered in lower level stuff. As you can see, it's got like vines, cyclones, all lower stuff. So as I said, the smaller the island, the more the high level stuff it has on it. So as you can see, there's a small island here, and it has an undead soul on it. So I'm heading straight for there because it's a high level one. And there's also an S rate there if I wanted to get that. But as you can see, I'm 1,202 essence, so that is going to be good for a long time. But obviously you only want to try and get these if there isn't any nodes around nearby, and if you're running low on essence, because obviously the best essence to just grab from them because you'll be getting XP while you do it. But if you do run out, obviously you can just grab them from this floating essence thing, as you would from at the start. So this gives amazing XP. It's well over 200 each. Well, it depends. If you get a soul and death, because these give soul and deaths, now you get the possibility of crafting a soul and death at the same time, which would give over 200, for 256 right there, and 144 depending which one of each to the two you craft. So whatever your runecrafting level is, you want to go for like the top 3-ish, nodes that you can collect. But obviously you want to keep up a decent stack of the other runes. So as you can see, I've got like 14 mines left, and if I was starting to run low, I'd obviously have to go and find something to get mines off. And if that was quick at a good end of the lower level, it's quite a possibility. So if I couldn't find any on the high level, I would go down. But that's why you want to get a decent stack of them before you try and start finding your high level ones. And this is why when training at the Runespan, you want to try and stay for quite a while. Now you can log out in the Runespan and you'd log in and still have all your runes, and that is basically the way you want to train it. You're not going to want to come here for an hour and leave, because the time to get set up is quite a while. It takes quite a bit of time to get a decent stack of runes, so that you're not running out of runes for telling around. Like, I've been here for quite a while. I had a bigger stack of this, but if I was going to stay here for like all the way to 99, I'm probably going to want to try and stay here straight for quite a few hours, doing not quite a few hours, like quite a few days, or possibly over a week if I was going straight for 99 without leaving. And that way I'd spend a good few hours just building my runes, so I had a decent amount, and that seems a reasonable thing to do. So you want to stick to your high level ones, and as you can see, the wraiths are much less XP than going for the nodes. The nodes are much better XP, but these give the essence, and I'm only doing this because I can see there's not a good one near me. So I know there's bloody skulls there, so I'm gonna go after this dies. And as you can see, while I'm doing this, you want to be heading. I can note the path. And you can see on your mini-map kind of the path, and obviously the other thing is to note you can't do all of these if you're a lower level, as the highest one requires 95, but you'll very rarely use that 95 one, as I showed you on the pictures. But you it should be on the low. If you're on like your floor for your level, you should be fine. Obviously this high level floor has some higher requirements, and so you will expect to on occasions have to bump into one that's a higher level than you've got, but there's always a way around it. That is the good thing. It's not single islands that are impossible to get normally with that. With the 95, there's other way around it. So I know there's bloody skulls here, so I'm heading straight for this, because this is one of the best I can get. But I swear I clicked that and nothing happened. Anyway, so this is what you want to do. I just tell you, as you can see, this is another small island with high level ones on, and this is another small island there with more bloody skulls. So as you can see, and there's a wizard, and I want to show you. And it died already. Good fight. So you never want to be stopped siphoning off something. So as you can see, I knew there's bloody skulls there, but before I noticed there was a path there, I clicked that just to ensure that I was non-stop runecrafting while I was doing it, because I don't want to stop, because you're going to lower your XP per hour like that. And as you can see, I got a red message in my box saying the wizard is calling for your help. So as soon as you find a blue wizard, you want to talk to him. You want to hold spacebar and press 2. He'll say, help me find the wizard in yellow robes. It'll give you a little yellow arrow. So I can see that's over there in that direction. So these yellow wizards give you a massive XP for giving them runes. Now the runes that it could require could be up to souls. So if you are a lower level, this may be a problem because getting souls requires a decently high level. So I think this way is going to be the fastest to get to this. It seems to be heading northeast. I can see there's none in that direction to get there. This is going to probably be the quickest way. So once you can do this every 10 minutes, you'll get this message. And in 99 you get 7.5k runecrafting XP on this floor anyway. I think it goes on what floor you're on for what XP you get from it. I'm not obviously 100% sure. It is new content, so I can't have all the facts. It's very difficult, especially with the lack of information Jagex are giving on it, because I don't want to do any spoilers. So I'm heading over there now. I think this is going to be the best way. Yep, because this is a big, massive island. So as mentioned before, the big islands have lower level runes. So there's a shit ton of water and fire and air and earth and stuff on that one. And as you can see, I follow the arrow, but the arrow only lasts so long. So you want to follow it as much as you can, and I just fucking went to a dead end. That wasn't clever by me. But I know it's in that direction. It seems I've got fucking trolled. I'm going to have to go up here. So obviously this will take practice learning the paths, because there is a map and you could use that while you're doing it. But as you can see, I just made a mistake, and anyone could do that, especially on like the first few tries. But obviously you will get more efficient and better at it as you go, but it's definitely worth doing these wizards. So as I was saying, it's 7.5k XP per wizard for me, and that is pretty damn good, because if you can find that in about 4 minutes, that is going to be nearly 120k an hour. Not far off that. Obviously that's at 99, but 4k is not unreasonable to manage to find one in, especially if you get better at it. That would be a very good... It's definitely worth doing these wizards, but try and come across them as you go rather than hunting for them. Do not hunt for a blue wizard, because the blue wizards, as you can see, I haven't seen a single another one since that one I was luckily next to right at the time. And so as you can see, I've lost the arrow now. It makes it a lot harder to find, but I knew it was in this direction. You need to try and kind of know the area where it is. So I want to talk to him, and he tells you what runes he needs. I saw he said blood runes, so you want to use the blood rune on him. 7.5k XP, and how long did that take? Not too long. I made a few mistakes, so it could have even been faster. They are going to give you a massive chunk of your XP, as well as the nodes, which you want to be doing as much as possible. You want to try and never stop. Obviously, you want to go for the highest level one that you're nearby all times. I could go for that death guy, but and I can see a living soul right there, so I'm going to run straight for this platform here and jump across there. There's a blood rift there too. Water wrestling, but no point in the water wrestling. I've got enough water runes, because you only use 1 rune per teleport each one, and it's all on this. Once you have a decent stack, you never even have to take notice of what the platform says, because you've got enough for any teleport, and that is why it's definitely worth grabbing them all. So I think that's all I want to say about actually training. It's pretty self-explanatory once you get used to it, and you just want to head for your highest nodes, and the small islands is definitely a way to go forward. So I showed you the map at the start, and you can always refer back to this map, and I'll have the link in the description to the wiki page on the official RuneScape wiki, which has some very good information and maps, etc. And that's where I showed you all the XP tables, etc. It's a very useful page to have a good read on before you come and train here, because it's going to give you some very useful information. So I think this is all I want to say in the guide, guys, and I hope you found this helpful if you've never been to the Runespan yet. And I know it seems like a really complicated training area compared to others, like obviously runecrafting at, say, at Nats, it's pretty self-explanatory. Fill your pouches, fill your inventory with crack, you're there and done. But this is much more difficult to get good at. So that's just died, so I want to click this while I find where I want to go next. So I want to move over there just so I can see what's over here. I can see he's fucking siphoning off something, that's the word. And resizable is helpful because you can see further, you can see what's on the other islands. If you're on fixed screen, you're going to struggle to see what's on the other islands. But I can't see anything on the island at the time, but I can see there's bloody skulls over there. So I think that's where I'm going to head, because the nodes are better XP. But he's just died, I've just got some essence. You always want to try and keep your essence up, but you get absolute ton of essence from every kill, so you shouldn't have a problem with that at all. So I know exactly where I'm going, so yeah. And listen, look, now there's a living soul, even more XP. So anyway, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you tomorrow for another video.